Alright, Shalom, we are the Hebrew Israelites, coming out here once again on another so-called Saturday to proclaim the downfall of this kingdom that you people love, known as Babylon the Great in the scriptures. You guys know it as America. Alright, so first and foremost, we want to give all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Alright, the Heavenly Father through the name of the Son. Alright, for blessing us with this knowledge of the scriptures, man. Alright, and double honors to the elders of GMS who rule well, who we have learned what we know through, and continue to learn these scriptures through the Spirit of the Most High, man. We got that from the elders, and if it wasn't for the elders, we'd be just like the rest of these people out here, bugged out. More importantly, if it wasn't for the Most High using the elders, we'd be just like the rest of the wicked of our nation that don't know who they are, and so on and so forth. All right, so read that out.
Isaiah chapter 58 verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Yeah, the scriptures say that we're supposed to cry aloud and spare not, and lift up our voice like a trumpet. A trumpet is an instrument used to warn people. When you go to war, if you have the enemy trying to besiege the gates to your kingdom, you would have the trumpet blown, Slakia, to let the people know that the city is under attack, man. All right, so by us coming out here, bringing out these scriptures, that's us spiritually sounding the alarm to let our people know that they better get right with the Heavenly Father, keep the law, statutes, and commandments as best they can, or else the Most High is going to deal with them, going to destroy them when this kingdom, this land of unwalled villages known as America is destroyed, man. All right? So when America gets destroyed, those of our people that didn't want to listen to the warning calls, being the gospel, the good news, all right, that the so-called white man is going into slavery, that that the Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians are the chosen people of God.
That's right.
They don't want to adhere to that. Then they're going to be destroyed in Babylon the Great, aka America, when the thermonuclear missiles come to destroy this place.
That's right.
Right. So just to reiterate, this brother had a question pertaining to Jacob and Esau's bitch ass. Okay. Where the question was, why didn't Jacob just feed Esau expediently, right? And well, let's read the stories. What is it, Genesis 20? 25. 25 is the birth.
Oh, it's a lot.
25 is the birth. So
it's 26, 27.
A little past that. 27. You can hold it, but also hold Jeremiah the 9th chapter with a particular focus on verse 6. Okay, because Esau. First of all, the word Esau or Ashashwan, right? Ashashwa means wasted away is he. Now the thing that is wasted away on him is his pigmentation. If you notice, everyone else on the planet is a shade of brown except for these Caucasians, these cave dwellers. Right? So we all have our shades of brown. The East Indians, some of those people are dark as hell, but they don't have woolly hair like the so-called Negro. Then you got the Hamites, those doo-doo-eating Africans, who they're dark-skinned and they have woolly hair too, but it's not the same people. You know? So Esau is also known as Edom, right? And Edom it means red, Adawam, which is red. And Adama is where you get the word Adam from, which means ground, dirt, right, from the ground. Okay, and then the Greek word for red is for Edom is Idumea, the Idumeans, which is red again. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the brother's right. It's Genesis chapter 25, verse 27.
Okay.
God. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents.
Right, okay, so right off the bat it's telling us that the characteristic of this Caucasian. He's a man of the field, right? And you can go on YouTube and look up, any type of hunting video, and it's going to be an Edomite. 9 times out of 10 it's an Edomite. whether it's with the bow, a shotgun, an assault rifle, whatever it is, you can actually find a specific video on how to hunt certain animals with certain you know, baits, techniques, and weapons. That's their specialty, right? So we know that, okay? And said Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. And a lot of you Jakes, you know, you don't want to go out unless you absolutely have to. And then there's some Jakes that they just want to be running the streets because you're wicked. You know, you got no business to be, if you got no business to be out, other than your business is some kind of, you know, wicked person to be out and about, selling drugs, gang banging, robbing people, then yeah, you're going to be out, you know, in the midst of wickedness, right?
Verse 28, and Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison.
Right, and venison is another word for game, like gamey, like deer, elk, bison, you know, wild game. Venison, four-footed particularly. Go ahead.
But Rebekah loved Jacob.
Right.
And Jacob sawed pottage.
Right, and pottage is a soup. So to sod pottage, right, is to boil soup, to make a soup, right? Okay.
And Esau came from the field, and he was faint.
Right, and he was faint. When you're faint, you just lack a little energy. Like I know when I don't eat, I get irritable. You know, because your sugars go down. You know, your energy levels drop. You know, you're not as enthusiastic. Everything is annoying to you, and it bugs you, and you're just on a microwave time. Everything's got to be quick.
Irritated.
Right, you're easily irritated. Exactly. You know, so Esau came irritated. You know, he's faint. You know, he probably skipped breakfast because a lot of these Edomites, they skip breakfast anyway, man. And then when they do eat breakfast, what do they eat? Sausage, bacon. Yeah, they don't have no type of healthy kickstart. No vegetables, no fruits. You go to school. I remember going to school and you eat the breakfast, and they would have like the fruit cups or the little green salads. You know, put the ranch in them and shake them up. You know, Esau would never be off that, man. He wanted the pepperoni pizza. He wanted corn dog, fries for breakfast.
Hot dog,
yeah, a hot pocket, a pizza pocket, pepperoni and cheese.
Leftover pizza.
Leftover pizzas. Yeah. You know, so they're just
or cereal.
Right, or cereal. Yeah, cereal. Yeah, cereal. Right, like that's nutritious. Go ahead.
Verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
Right. So he said with that same red pottage, that's why it's called Edom, which means red. So, you know, these Edomites, they like to eat their shit raw anyway. Right? Now the soup isn't even done. He's saying, you know, give me that red pottage. That's not done. And, you know, I looked that word red up. You know, the red pottage, and the Edomites will say it's talking about a red lentil bean that's indigenous to the Middle East, right? Well, why would it say that when Esau is known to like his venison, and that's why Jacob liked them, was for the venison, right? So, and either way, right, Salah, Isaac. And either way it goes, it's still the pottage still isn't cooked yet. It's like I was telling this brother before the camera was running. It's like, if I'm in the kitchen cooking eggs and you wake up and you're like, hey man, let me get some of those eggs. And you're like, yeah, you just gotta wait till it's cooking. Nah man, I'm hungry, I need it right now. You're not gonna want to eat raw eggs. I didn't even put no salt or pepper on it. I didn't put no, you know, cilantro or tomatoes. I didn't even spice it up, and you already want to eat raw food? That's the spirit of the white people, because they'll eat what, steak tartare, where they get a raw thing of meat and then they put a raw egg on it and give it to you. Yeah, and it costs like what, 30, 40 bucks?
More than that shit.
Hey, and you speaking about steak tartare, and that's
Right.
what Edomites like to eat. The Queen of England, she got some intestinal disease. I forget what it's called, gastro something. I can look it up. I'll look it up. But they said that some of the causing factors of it is eating raw meat.
Right, and they in England, it's a big deal for them to eat raw duck eggs. They'll eat the duck eggs. Even in China, they'll eat the duck eggs where the baby duck is in the egg still. And they eat, you know, they eat it raw pretty much. The feathers are still on it. You know, the beak still has teeth. That's how you know it's not fully developed. You know, so, you know, our people, we like our shit cooked. You know, we like our shit, you know, broiled, baked, you know, deep fried. We want it cooked. You see pink meat or blood on the chicken, you're like, I don't want that shit. You know, you send it back. Right? Go ahead.
And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright.
Right, so Jacob said, okay, if you want that, you got to give me something, because this isn't done yet. And if you really want it, and it's almost being sarcastic. He said, if you really want it, then sell me your birthright. And what is the birthright? To inherit anything, it's basically first dibs on whatever the father has, right? So did Abraham, you know, the blessing went from Abraham, Isaac, and it tells us in the book of the Apocrypha that it rests on the head of Jacob. Well, if Esau would have kept it, if he wouldn't have sold it, then it would have rested on him.
Leave downtown.
However, it's telling you, when you go to Romans, it tells you that the children not being born, neither having done any good or evil, right, that the purpose of the Most High, according to election, might stand. So it doesn't, you know, this is already all predestined from the beginning. This is all predestined from the beginning, right? So Jacob clearly said, sell me your birthright. He didn't say, it's not a trick. He's dealing plainly with them, you know? It's kind of like, you know, there's this bitch ass nigga named Marcella, you know, and a lot of people out here know about his niggardness, man. That, you know, you could go out with him somewhere and he'll be like, yeah, meet me here, I'll pay you your way in. And you get there and he's in a whole nother club. And you're like, man, what the hell? And you know, the person that you might be with is like, hey, I got you. Like, no, the principle is he said he was going to be here. He didn't even call us to say he's leaving, let's go meet him over there. That's the same type of shit, man. That's, you know, it's the same type of shit. It's weirdo shit, man. It's weird. It doesn't make no sense, right? Okay, so Esau off bat is already loony, and being a man of the field, constantly eating meat, that's an acidic diet. You're not getting any proper vegetation to keep your mind and your brain decalcified to be in a healthy state. You know? Go ahead.
All right. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die.
Which was a lie, which is a fucking lie. He wasn't about to die. You can go 30 days without food. You watch these shows on the Discovery Channel where they have like survivors that stay in caves for 30 days, eating one M&M a day, a trail mix of raisin. The next day they'll eat a peanut, and they're sitting there just letting the water drip into their mouth. You know, you...
Slush.
God.
I was gonna say, they got a show called I Survived. You know, you got motherfuckers that'll be out in water for like 4 or 5 days, man, without food or drink, you know?
Right.
And they survive, you know?
Right, and you gotta remember, Esau is a man of the field. So he knew where all the rivers were. He wasn't thirsty, he was hungry. So you mean to tell me he doesn't have enough energy to go pick some berries? When it's in their spirit to eat shit from the ground anyway? Rubs, you know? Some kind of juniper root? An onion, a raw onion, like something? You know, he's a dick. Go ahead.
And what proof, Salah, and what profit shall this birthright do me?
Right.
Do to me?
And see, so Esau's already not even in the spiritual mindset that I'm gonna come back. Which really he is back already as Cain. Now, if someone told you, which you know it's not recorded, he doesn't know, but if someone told you, hey, you're Cain in the reincarnation, you wouldn't want to believe that anyway, right? Yeah. Like that's terrible, right? So you know, something in the spirits, you know, he's already rebellious, man. He's already rebellious. He's already saying, I'm not gonna be born again. Like, what good is the birthright if I die now? I inherit nothing, you know? Go ahead.
And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
Right now, to swear means to make an oath or a vow. So he said, okay, well, make this oath or vow with me that you sold me your birthright, right? Okay?
Then Jacob gave Esau bread and potters of lentils,
right?
And he did eat and drink. And rose up.
Right, so that's one way in the ancient world that you would kind of like shake hands. You would break bread over something. You would be in agreement. You would be on the same accord. That's one of the old customs. So, you know, if someone comes to sup with you over an agreement, you would break bread over. Right? Go ahead. Yep. Go ahead.
And he did eat and drink and rose up. and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
Right. So Esau despised his birthright off bat. Right now, if he was any type of spiritual man, he would have said, well, you know, I'll just die with my birthright and I'll come right back and still retain it. Right? Now get Jeremiah the 9th, or you got something in Romans, bring that out first.
Romans, if I can say this too, the disease that the Queen of England got is gastroenteritis.
Right.
You know, which what can cause that is eating raw foods, raw meats, like this brother's going into.
Because you can eat raw foods if they're fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables you want to eat raw, but meats you don't want to eat raw because meat is already acidic. It's very acidic, so you don't want to eat, you know, raw meat. But when it comes to raw vegetables, you know, olives, you know, things like that, yeah, you know, that's the greatest thing for you. Onions, garlic, horseradish, cilantro, lemon,
Herbs.
yeah, herbs, you know,
water.
thyme is good, avocado, oregano, you know.
This is Romans 9 and 10. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High, according to election, might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth.
Right, you got this saying in the world, you know, who calls the shots? Well, in the scriptures, in the world, who calls the shots? The Heavenly Father, right? It's Romans 9 and 11. Well, 9. We started at 10, right?
Yeah.
So, right, it's not of Jacob or of Esau. They didn't, you know, come up with this grand scheme. It was already predestined, and the Spirit is working it out, right? That's why the scripture says in Isaiah 58 or 55 and 8, you know, or I'm actually off with that. Well, not only that, but his word doesn't go out void. It will accomplish that which he pleases. So whatever the Most High says goes, right? So it was already purposed that this was going to take place.
If I can read this real quick. This is Isaiah 55 verse 11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the things whereto I sent it.
Right. And, you know, and yes, his thoughts are not our thoughts either. You know, his ways are past our ways, past finding out. You know, just like when you work for a company, a lot of us have jobs for whatever it is. The owner of the company doesn't have to tell you that he's thinking about buying or selling the company until a certain time. Now he could be thinking about it for 10 years, and you know, say, you know, on the 5th year he decides to do it. Well, he according to these laws, he has to give you some kind of notice, you know, so that you can start looking for other work and stuff like that. But then, you know, at the same time, if he rigs it up in deceit like they did with the Enron scandals, they just make it all collapse and shit, then, you know, hey, that's, you know, they're crafty in their own deceit, man. You know, but the head honcho, he doesn't have to tell you nothing, man. He doesn't have to tell you anything. And that's ordered, you know, because even in the army, in a military sense, right, you have who's the
Colonel.
The colonel, but within the White House,
General.
within the White House, you have the
Commander-in-Chief.
Well, Commander-in-Chief, but then you have someone else, Secretary of Defense, the water. There's a, like, say we joined up in the military today, right? We're private first class, right? E1, whatever. Do you think we know what the Secretary of Defense knows or what the President knows about where we're going to be sent out after our basic? No, it don't work like that, man. You know? That's the point, though. Bring this out too, though, because what wasn't mentioned in the 25th chapter is that after it was sold and they agreed upon it, these Caucasians, being men of no integrity, they didn't go. Esau didn't go and say, "Hey, look, Mom, Dad, I just sold my birthright to my little brother, so, you know, just a heads up, so you know what's going on. I don't deserve, you know, what I think I deserve because I sold it." Right? Which would be the honest you know, the honest thing to do with integrity, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna start at 34, verse 34. Genesis chapter 27, verse 34. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry.
A bitter cry. Now, America, that word, the root Amer goes back to the word bitter. Okay, so the root word for America is bitter. Now, what did Esau do? He let out with an exceeding bitter cry, right? With a rebel yell, right?
And Salak, me and Shaquat was watching TV yesterday, and there was this commercial about, like, you know, Edomites live in a fairy tale, you know, state of mind. But they were pretty much, it was these Edomites thinking, like, what if this, what if that? And so when they would say, what if you'd have the man with some kind of vision in his head, and it'd depict that on the TV screen. But pretty much what happened was, he was like some wild ass caveman, not caveman, but they are cavemen. But it was some, like, a man of the field, right? You know how they got them shows on TV?
Some kind of barbarian,
yeah,
called Cro-Magnon.
Yeah, so he's standing in some water, and this big ass salmon, flew out the water, and he caught it, right? Now, in the background, there's a bear, there's a deer, and some other shit.
Well, I know what you're talking about.
And when he caught the fish, he was like, oh!
Oh, yeah, commercial.
Yeah, it's an insurance commercial.
Yeah.
He let out
he let out the rebel yell. Right. And then his bitch got attacked and almost raped by a wacky waving animal all the way to two-man. Yeah, that shit was funny. Yeah, so, you know, they show you these things, you know? That's in their characteristics.
All right. And he said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing.
Right, which is what Jacob means, to supplant. Right? Now, they were named, right, on their characteristics of when they were born. Right? They called Esau, they called Esau wasted away as he, because when he was born, he was red all over like a hairy garment. And they called Jacob the supplanter, because he came out holding on to his brother's heel. That's a takeover move. You ever see, like, in shows or cartoons when someone's walking away and someone grabs him by the heel and takes him down, and then you know they'll crawl up over him or whatever, and they win the fight? That's our characteristics, man.
And kill his heel.
Right. Even that stupid cool Muhammad Ali, what was his whole tactic? The rope-a-dope.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's like, hey, I'm just gonna sit here and take it. You're just eating the punches, and then finally when you're tired, now he wins. That's a natural Jake spirit, right? Go ahead.
All right, verse 36. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob?
Right, didn't you know? Didn't you know? His father's telling him, look, man, don't be stupid, you already knew better. But even more than this, Esau still isn't telling him that he sold the birthright, which is a bitch-ass move. To not communicate, you're supposed to be family, you're supposed to be friends, and you're not communicating something that's important as, look, I'm gonna make this move and change locations and stuff like that. This is something that, you know, you're supposed to be made known to everyone. Right?
For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing.
Right, but hold up. It's only once, because with the birthright comes the blessing. So you see Esau trying to say, oh, he did me wrong twice. So in his mind, he's like, well, 2 negatives equal a positive. Which for us it is. You know, 2 negatives do equal it. That's math. So now Esau is going to render evil for evil. Not in that lifetime, but in this one. He's going to render what he considered evil for evil. And that's why the scriptures say they call evil good and good evil. Because they're asked backwards of people. Go ahead.
And behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said to Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord and all his brethren.
Yeah, I have made him your master and all his brethren. I have made him your king, your ruler, and all his brethren, his brothers, which his brethren is his family that's going to come up. Okay.
Have I given to him for servants?
Right, and I've given you to be a servant unto him. So when have these Edomites stayed in order under us? Never. We had them for a small period of time. We had the kingdom for about 40 years with Solomon, but that was it, right? Go ahead.
And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son?
Right, and corn and wine, right? Now these Edomites, they'll tell you when you go to school that they didn't know about corn until they came over here to America with the pilgrims and stuff, right? And the whole northern kingdom, up and down North and South America, was heavy on corn, man.
If I can say this a lot, the brother just mentioned that the only time we had Edomites in subjection was, during the period when King Solomon reigned. But then you might have some assholes out there that'd be like, well, what about the Byzantine Empire? Well, when you go into history, the Khazars, they had their own thing going over in the foothills of the Caucasus Mountains in Georgia, Russia, right? And it even when you go into history, it tells you that they were rebellious against the Byzantine Empire, man.
Right.
Because why? Because that tension that the Most High put between Jacob and Esau. So even though during the Byzantine Empire you had all the other nations that was paying tribute to Israelites, you still always had Edomites that was bucking up against that, man.
Yeah.
All right. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. There you go. Better cry again.
And then he goes crying again. The crocodile tears. Oh, because he always wants to bring up the past, but when we bring up his past, we can't do it. But he'll always say, remember 9/11, remember the Alamo, remember the Holocaust. But when we talk about, you remember slavery, remember the atom bomb, and Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that's in the past, get over it. Oh, it's in the past, get over it.
Yeah, that's how they do.
But you can't get over shit like that you've done to yourself. Really, the Civil War, you've done that to yourself.
9/11?
Right, 9/11. Go ahead.
And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Right. And that links up right with Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So it's a clear, precise pinpoint. You got the Jeremiah 9:6.
Jeremiah 9:6. Thine habitation is in the midst of deceit.
Right. The habitation of these devils is in the midst of deceit. Now the biggest deceitful place is America. And they push a lot of their bullshit out of Hollywood. Right? When you go into that word Hollywood, it's talking about the hollow wand, the hollow wood, the witchcraft, sorcery, magic. And they always tell you movie magic. This is where the magic happens.
Yeah.
Whenever you do it, see any kind of movie or something, take it to the studio. This is where the magic happens.
They gotta mix and master.
Right, right. Mix masters. They're sorcerers, man. Go ahead.
Through deceit, they refuse to know me, saith the Lord.
Right, through deceit, they refuse to know the Lord. They're very rebellious, man. They're very rebellious. Through deceit, they refuse to know the Most High. Okay, and is that not how he established himself at the beginning with, nah, man. Nope, none of that. You got the wrong people. You got the wrong people. Nope, you got the wrong people. We're not family. We're not Muslim. We're not Muslim. See, deceit, man. He's still, here it is, you can tell him what it is, and he's still not going to accept the truth, and he's going to say whatever he feels it is, man. He's just going to be rude, huh? Just walk to people, should get beat up for that shit. Asshole, man.
Yeah, you can see you look that up.
Yeah.
You niggas gonna move?
Making eye contact.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah, he always making eye contact. These niggas are some scam artists, man.
Yeah.